Hello, YouTube. One and all, one and only. I have Rice Krispie Squares. And a coffee. Hell yeah. I'm the best streamer on this platform. I'm so prepared. So, this is being filmed live in front of an audience. Laugh track now, except I'm not an editor, so there is going to be no laugh track. Welcome to the Eldlich deck profile. That's right, we're doing a deck profile on a trap heavy deck. And I bet you're all thinking, Richard, you play like combo, you don't play control, what's going on? Well, this is a control deck I've been having my eyes on for, I want to say since it came out. Since it came out, I've had my eyes on this deck. But it was always extremely expensive. But over time, the price has gone down. So everything that I wanted for the deck has slowly gotten cheaper and cheaper for each card. For example, Pot of Extravagance. I didn't even have a copy when those came out. I now have a playset because I bought them in Toon Chaos when they were £20 a copy. And other cards. Obviously, the new Eldorado reprints makes the deck a lot cheaper. Although I will say, when I say my cards got cheaper, I mean along the sense of I've got the secret rares of all the traps and spells and whatnot, but they went cheaper because, like, say, Eldland was like a £40 to £50 card for the super. I have the super and it cost me a tenner per copy this time, because as soon as the Eldorado was announced, they were like, oh shit, we've got to sell our entire stock, and the fucking price went straight down. So I was actually able to get this deck quite cheap. So, without further ado, we will go to the deck profile and build. Oh shit! Yeah, that's a tab, isn't it? That's a tab I don't actually want anymore, to be fair, because I'm going to do it in this other area. So we're going to remove that tab. That's not what I meant either. Oh, this is going great. There we go. I will say, and because this is going to be on YouTube, I have heard everything that's happening with Streamlabs, and the only reason I'm using their service right this second is because I didn't have time to put together actual OBS with all the tabs and shit. So after this stream / video, I will be, like, as soon as this stream's ended, I will be going into like trying to move everything to OBS and get everything sorted for that. Until then, we will be using Streamlabs for this particular stream / video. Fuck you, Streamlabs. Just fuck you. Right. With that being said, let us get started. So, we will move the extra deck out of the way for now, and we'll stick to the main. So, for main, we have a playset of Elderland, Eldlich, the Golden Lord, and I am running the alt art because it's the second cheapest, so it's like the middle ground for like the how much you pay for it, but not by much compared to the cheapest, and the alt art just looks much better than the original, because the original looks like he's in the middle of Michael Jackson's Thriller. So I think I'll stick to that. Then we have two Lord of the Heavenly Prisons. Now, you could run a playset, you could side it. I personally like to run two in main myself, because if you draw it, great, you can protect your back row, summon it, and give yourself free back row. But if you don't draw it, it's also not the end of the world, because you're planning on side decking it anyway. So, yeah, that's why I run it. 3 Cursed Eldlands, obviously. There's no reason not to run 3 Cursed Eldland. It's like one of the best cards in the deck. You basically pay 800. So it's basically Cleethorpes Scout for the deck. It's really nice. I like it. And it's a free send to resummon your Eldritch if you want it. Next we have our Eldlichs of Black Awakening. Obviously 3 copies yet again, because the thing with Eldritch that I found, and I'm probably going to get hated for saying this, but it's supposed to be a resource stack. But you use up your entire hand just to summon your first Eldritch if it's in hand. So by having 3 Eldlichs of Black Awakening, I can potentially summon 1 from deck instead of 1 from hand, which is much better, because getting Eldritch from hand specifically is set a card, send Eldlich and another card in your hand to grave to send said card to the graveyard. Then set yet another card, use Eldlich to send that card. Then you have an Eldlich on board and one potential face down. And sure, the Eldlichs and the Golden Lands have effects in graveyard, so it's not the end of the world. But if you've got an Eldlixer, you might as well just use it to summon Eldlich. And it's the only one that you want to send to graveyard on turn 1, because then that gives you access to Golden Lands. Because if you send a Golden Land only gives you access to an Eldlixer. So yay, turn 2, instead of having a Conquistador to like banish, to get rid of their cards, I now have to fucking activate Sanguine and summon a second Eldlich for fuck knows what reason. So yeah, I prefer to just summon it from deck if I can help it. Triple pot of extravagance. We just went over this, yeah. Triple pot. The extra deck is not really something that you give too much of a shit about, and I've realised my phone's going crazy. I wonder what it is. Oh, it's the other half he was watching the post-COVID special. Probably when I woke up. Fair enough. Anyway. So we've got the pot of extravagances. Now, I'm running a card that I don't see in basically any Eldritch build. But it's funny. We're running 1/7 City. Reason being is it's searchable or Sanguine. It's searchable off of Black Awakening. And all you do is you set it on your opponent's turn, activate it on your opponent's turn, and then go, okay, 7 City effect, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna fuse into the fusion, and the fusion ain't bad, especially if you're making it your turn and your opponent's already made an established board. So yeah, I run 1 copy. And worst case scenario, it's another one I can just lol send to graveyard, I get my Eldritch back. So there's not really a downside to running it. The only slight downside is it doesn't have a banishing grave effect, but Next we've got our Forged Burial. Forged Burial to send the Eldritch, so again it's easier to just go lol, 1 Forged Burial, 1 set, got Eldritch. I now have 3 cards in hand that I can still potentially set, rather than I have 1 potential card I could set. I'm sorry, I love this deck, but that particular situation really irks me. I'm gonna use up my entire hand to summon 1 monster. Next, we're going into the traps. We've got our 3 Sanguines, because yet again, would rather summon from deck if I can help it. We have our 3 Conquistador, which is, if you've never played Eldritch, is basically pop a card on board if you have an Eldritch when you activate this, and it's a monster. And with the new Konami rules where they're saying, hey, trap monsters are just, are just monsters now. You don't, they're treated as traps, but they don't use up a back row now. It's really nice. I know we've been using that for a while, but now it's official. It's lovely. Next, we got our 2 Haqueros. Because, in my opinion, Haquero is nice, but it's nowhere near the level of Conk. I would rather top deck a Conk. Also, sorry for the glare. Literally, my light's directly above me. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm tempted to get a lamp at one point and have that in the corner of my room or something. Might be an idea. We've got our Imperms. So we're going into non-Eldritch back row now. So we've got our Imperms. Playset, because lol hand trap plus a trap that can be sent off Eldritch plus lol fuck negate everything. So Improm is really good in this deck. It's good in most decks, but this deck it's a little extra good because obviously you can use Eldritch to send it if you need to. 3 Trap Trick. I've heard people say, oh, don't run Trap Trick because you only use it on your Sanguines and you'll lose all your Sanguines. But no, you can use it on the Imperms or pretty much half of the next cards I'm about to show you. So you've got your IDPs you can use it on. I'm running 2 specifically because Trap Trick. It's a good trap. It's just a good trap. I was tempted to run a playset, but then that meant I had to cut down on something else, and there weren't really anything else I wanted to cut down on. So 2's nice. And then it's the same with my dimensional barriers. I'm running 2 because again trap trickable. And my partner doesn't agree with me on this, but Dimensional Barrier is 100% a main deck card for a deck like this. Because this is a deck that wants to go first, so D-Barrier does make a difference. And there's so many decks right now that if you declare Ritual or you declare Synchro, you just shut down their entire deck. Imagine going against 10 Yi Sword Soul and just going, lol, fuck your Synchros. They make fucking Berserker go ook ook. But even then, you have a potential beefed up Eldlich, so who gives a shit? So yeah, no, D-Barrier is really nice. So I run it in main for that reason. Obviously, he has a different opinion, and you know what? I respect it. It's just, yeah, it's personally I run it. Next, we have our 3 Solemn Judgments and our 3 Solemn Strikes, because even though they're not trap triggerable, you just want them in hand. Like, they're so good. They can shut down your opponent like at any time without even thinking about it. So yeah, you run the Solemns for that reason. And that's it for the main. So yeah, it's a very fun deck, main wise. Now we go into the extra. So the extra isn't much special because obviously we're running Extravagance. But we are running some of the good cards. So obviously I'm running 3 of the Fusion because obviously I have the 7 cities to summon it, so 3 of the Fusion's nice. We've then got 3 Counterstellar Pleiades because the trap monsters come out as level 5s. So if you're able to use both traps during your opponent's turn, and then you can go into your turn and overlay them into this, and just go lol, fucking shuffle back a card, fuck you. So it's situational, but it does show up occasionally, you know. Next we have a playset of Gustav Max. Reason being is you can just go lol, go into Eldlich, overlay to burn 2k, or because I'm running 3 Libe. You can overlay on top of this train into Libe and then have a 6k beater if you really need it for like an OTK or something. So yeah, that's another thing I'm running. And finally, one that my other half showed me, and honestly it's a really good idea, so shout out to Khajiit Cook for this. A playset of Liner the Light Charter, Lustrous. Reason being is your Eldritch and your Eldritch traps are all light monsters. Most decks are either light or dark nowadays. This basically steals from the graveyard any light monster I want. So even in a mirror match, I could go into this and go, I will take your Eldritch, thank you very much. You don't get Eldritch effect anymore. Like, that's really good. Like, it's so fucking good. So yeah, I'm running a playset of this as well for that reason. Plus it's really cheap. It was like £1 for like a playset. Maybe like £2, £1.50 for a playset. And that's of the super. It has like a common print and that's probably like £1 for like a playset. So yeah, no, that's my extra deck. So that is how I play my Eldritch. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me go back here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will say that it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not exactly meta at the moment. It is quite high rogue, I will say though, because it can counter quite a few decks. Like, I don't really see Sword Soul being able to do much against like a D barrier and a Solemn. Maybe even a Conk Pop or a Haquero Banish. Like, you just banish their their graveyard. It can do quite good against for Wanderees as well for that reason, because you can just interrupt their plays. Sure, D-Barrier doesn't do much against them, but you can side that out at that point. But you've got stuff like your Conk, you've got your Imperms, you've got your Solemns to just go lol, fuck you. Like, yeah, it's quite a good anti-meta deck at the moment. I wouldn't say it's the best anti-meta deck right now, but it's definitely up there. I'm not going to say my build's anything perfect or anything special, but I do want to say it's a very good build. What is that? That keeps rubbing. Oh, it's my quilt. I felt something like rub there. I was like, what? But yeah, no. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and I will see you in the next one. Tatty buys.